Good morning and welcome to Peace Out, where I'm practicing that this morning already. I really am. But we're all learning together how to peace out, learning together how to just put it in His hands and walk away and keep our eye on it, right? Oh, that's not what we're learning at all. We're learning that we can trust God. God is trustworthy. He really is. He's trustworthy. He's faithful. It's just amazing that He chooses to walk through time with us. As crazy as we are, and as crazy as this world has gotten, He never has given up. He created humans, and then He wants to be with us. He doesn't have to. He's not obligated to. He could have thrown us out there like the dice and just said, however they land is how they land. How about that? But He wants to have a relationship with us. Actually, that's not really what I'm talking about this morning, but I thought a lot about relationships this morning and how it takes time to build them. Why do we think it takes any different with God? Why do we think that we could just have a relationship with God? And well, we've got a relationship. He wants a relationship. We get started on that, but it takes time to learn that you can trust someone to be vulnerable with your feelings and your emotions. That's not my lesson this morning either. Anyway, book of the week is 21 Days. Grab a copy. If you know someone who just got saved, this would be a great thing to have in a church, is actually to give to someone who gets saved, because it's just a real basic scriptures on the love of God, the faithfulness of God. The Bible talks about the Bible itself, how it's the truth and loving the truth, and it's just got simple scriptures, a few simple scriptures that will help encourage someone to start to develop the habit of Bible study in their day, because that can be a really hard thing to try to figure out how to do, right? And it gives some ideas in the back on how to do that. And the thing is about this book, once you go through it, you can go through it again and you can read more. There's enough. You can take 5 minutes a day or 30 minutes a day. That's how it's designed. So if you know somebody that just got saved, or somebody who wants to develop that habit in their life, try 21 Days. It's on Amazon, and it's on my Dove's Fire Ministries bookstore.com too. So you get an ebook, Kindle, or the print. Print's the probably the favorite one. But anyway, so I hope you're having a great morning, by the way. I do hope you're having a great morning. As a matter of fact, this book right now is being translated into Urdu. It should be finished by the end of the month, and then I'll be trying to figure out how to get this one printed. We've got 1,500 copies now of the leadership book printed, and we've got 4 other books that we printed 500 copies of, and the Gifts of the Spirit study guide is down to 250 left, and the others still have about 300 left. So they're not going as fast as the leadership book, but it's pretty cool. It's pretty exciting what's going on over there. Don't get me started on it, because I can go on it because it's exciting. But this one's the next one, and then we're talking about translating it into a third language, the leadership book especially. And man, it's just growing, it's just blowing my mind. So when you have a few hours, I'll talk to you about it. But for right now, let's just go back to what I want to talk about today. There's these 3 scriptures in First Chronicles, and I'm pretty sure we mentioned it the other day. But it's talking about David's mighty men, and I think one day last week I talked about it. But I just came back to it again this morning, because there's this dude named Benaiah, and I don't even Benaiah. We're just going to call him Ben, okay? And he was one of David's mighty men, but he wasn't as famous as the 3 really mighty men. He was just a 4th, I guess, in his top mighty men. But in David's mighty men, and it says David had 30 mighty men, and he was right up there in the top. But he wasn't those 3 that were so famous, but he was famous, and he was famous for several things. He was famous, it says he killed 2 of Moab's mightiest warriors. It says he, armed with just a club, killed an Egyptian warrior who was he was 7.5 feet tall, and this dude killed him with just a club. And then he took away it says that his spear was as thick as a weaver's beam. I'm guessing that's really thick, right? And he took the spear from his hand, an Egyptian's hand, and killed him. I mean, so he did all these cool things, but that's not these real valiant things. He was, man, if I was going to go to battle hand to hand, I want this dude with me, right? He knew how to fight. But in the middle of all of that, another time it says he chased a lion down into a pit. Then, despite the snow and slippery ground, he caught the lion and killed it. This dude chased a lion. And not only did he just chase the lion and the lion ran away, he followed the lion into a snow-packed pit and somehow kept the footing and killed the lion in the pit. Who does that? Who has the need for that? We talk about David some. We talk about David a lot, right? Because we find ourselves in the Psalms a lot. But David killed a lion and a bear, but it was because they were threatening his sheep. Now, we don't know why this guy, Benaiah, we don't know why he chased the lion. Was he having a bad day? I don't know. But what I saw about this was, I want those things that are threatening me, like the lion threatened David. What was David's? David, it came to take the sheep, and David was like, you're not taking my sheep. I'm going to kill you, lion. I'm going to kill you, bear, because you're not going to take what's mine. And so I want to have this kind of tenacity in holding on to God, right? Holding on to what he's promised, holding on to his word. I don't want to go kill a real actual lion, right? But I want to have that kind of tenacity to chase it down and kill it. Even if there's not sure footing, right? I want to be able to kill it in the sense that, maybe doubt. I want to fight. I want to have this kind of tenacity fighting doubt. I want to have this kind of tenacity fighting fears. And I have lots of fears, lots of anxieties. I deal with anxiety, and yet I'm a peace speaker, right? It's an all day, all the time fight for me to not get over anxious over things, overthink them, overanalyze, and then I get under them because they're too big, right? But I want to be like this dude who says, you know what? I'm not afraid of this lion. He chased the lion. He didn't just let it go. I would have just let it go. I'm like, he's going that way, just let it go. He chased the lion and killed it for whatever reason he had. I don't know, right? But I want to have that kind of tenacity on fighting the things that come against my faith, on fighting the things that come against that peace that God gave us, fighting against the things that are sinful in my life. And yes, I sin. I do a lot, but I'm not going to tell you. Anyway, right? But there's things that fight against our faith, right? And we don't have to just sit there and take it. We don't have to just go, oh, I'm so doubtful. Oh, I don't have any faith. You don't have to believe that lie, because we already know in Romans it says that God gave everyone a measure of faith. So we have faith, period. As a matter of fact, John 14:27 says, Jesus said, I'm leaving you my peace. So we have peace. It's a lie. We believe a lie when we think we don't have it. It's there and it's available. The catch is applying it to our lives, letting it reign in our hearts. That's where the catch is, right? That's the hard part. But I want to be able to chase it down and go, you know what? God gave me peace, and I'm going to figure out how to let it reign in my heart. God gave me the grace for today, and I'm going to figure out how to rely on his grace for today. God gave me brand new mercies for a brand new day, and I want to figure out how to allow them to run my life and saturate my life. I want to learn how to let my life be saturated with his grace, with his mercy, with his peace, with his love. I want to have this kind of tenacity when it comes to this word. And you know what? That's the key. Because I was thinking, how would I apply this? Because I love this story. It's just 3 verses. This is all we know about this guy, is he killed people and he chased a lion, right? That's it. And he was part of David's mighty men. That's all we know about this guy. Matter of fact, Mark Batterson, one of my favorite authors, wrote a whole book on In a Pit with a Lion on a Snowy Day. And it's about those hard circumstances we go through and having the kind of tenacity, warrior tenacity that this guy had against this lion. It's a really good book, by the way, if you want to. It's on, I don't even know, there's a plug, special shameless plug for him, but Mark Batterson's one of my favorites, and that book is that's the first book I ever read of his, and it's just about having that tenacity to fight those things that fight us, having the tenacity to stand up. But here's the catch: we got to know the word. This is just my plug for reading every day, right? If we don't have the word hidden in our heart, we don't have anything to fight with. It's like a gun with no bullets, and then something attacks you. What are you going to do, throw the gun at them? I don't know, right? But when someone attacks you, you want to be able to defend it. This is how we defend it. This is how we defend the faith, is by holding on to what everything God said in this word. By saying, I know he gave me peace. I may not feel it right this second, but I know that he gave me peace. And learning how to roll it over on him. What's that? That's another scripture there we can memorize. Maybe I need to make a list of scriptures. I don't know. But in 2 Peter, it talks about, giving our cares to him and letting him care for us. That is one little verse. It's a very powerful concept, but it's very hard to do. And sometimes that's the catch, right? Because we know the scriptures, we know we have grace, but how do we apply that grace? We know we have his mercy, but how do we make use of that mercy? We know we have his peace, but how do I let it reign when everything seems like it's broken in my life, when everything feels like it's out of place, it's all messed up? I still have his peace. His peace God doesn't say, I'm with you until it gets rough and then I'm out. Man, I'm just call me when you get things worked out. No, he walks through everything with us. The good stuff, the bad stuff, the in-between stuff, the silly stuff, the dumb stuff we do to ourselves. Nothing is off limits. And we learn all about that right here in the Word. We see that he was with David. David was a mighty man. David fought wars. David ran from Saul. David slept with Bathsheba. Oh, did I say that out loud? David messed up, but God didn't abandon him. I saw a meme that came across Facebook that said, David faced Goliath and took Goliath out, but he fell to Bathsheba. God didn't abandon him on either of those battlefields, right? God was with him, period. And God is with us too. And that's why we can have hope. That's why we can peace out. That's why we can relax. God's got us covered. But when those doubts come, I want to be like this dude, Ben, that says, no, I don't care if the pit is deep. I don't care if the pit is dark. I don't care if the pit is snowy. I'm not letting you take my peace that God gave me. I'm not letting you take the faith that I have in God, the knowing that he's walking with me. I'm going to know that. I'm not going to let the circumstances of my life steal from me anymore. I'm going to take it out right here and right now. And that's the only way we can fight that, is just sheer grit and saying, I'm going to hold on to God no matter what, and knowing what he says in the Bible about us. Did you know that he says we're accepted by God? Did you know that it says we're the sons and daughters of God? That's a cool thing to know. We know that he said he gave us peace. We know that he said he gave us mercies and grace for every single day, and that he doesn't leave us. He doesn't abandon us. People do. God does not. Right? We know that he walks out in the middle of the storm to his disciples. He could have waited till the storm passed. He didn't have to walk on the water out to the boat. They were scared little dudes out there, right? But we know that he called us. He chose us. He wants to have a relationship with us. He's a faithful God. We know all these things because we read this in the Bible, and that's our weapons. That's what helps us kill the lion in a snowy pit, whether we want to or not, right? Whether we like that pit or not, we can take those thoughts out. We can counter them when we memorize his word, when we think about his word, when we read his word. That's why we can peace out. God's got us. No matter what, God's got us. Have a great day, you guys. I hope I said something that made sense. Peace out. I'll see some of you guys this evening, and I'll see you, everybody else, tomorrow.